Game Now!
Hello everyone, Big Game Now here, Planet Retro. This video is a little bit different to all the other videos. I've been tagged by Kieron, Retro Reclaimer, in a 90s questions. So this is a VR response to him. He's also tagged Rob Gernaldinho Plays, and I believe he was tagged by Metropolis. I think that's his name. So yeah, it's basically, we sit here and we answer some questions about things that in the 90s. So the first question was, favourite cartoon you own on DVD? And I forgot to bring the DVDs up here because I'm silly. But yeah, so back in the 90s they had quite a lot of good cartoons out. Obviously I was born in 86, so a lot when I was started the 90s would have been more of the younger kiddie ones, but I used to watch The Simpsons. The Simpsons was great. Just so it's dinosaurs, obviously. You can tell by the thumbnail. Not the baby. Just to beat his dad up. Hit him on the head a few times. It used to be quite funny. Beavis and Butthead. But they were more like later in the 90s. Obviously I was younger back then, didn't really understand it. So it weren't until like 2000s I really appreciated Beavis and Butthead. Back when they used to be on MTV. Used to watch Pinky and the Brain. And Animaniacs, that used to be great on Saturday morning. Used to love watching them. Then Cartoon Network come around, Dexter's Laboratory. Johnny Bravo, two great shows. And then Recess. I can't remember, was that on Nickelodeon or Disney? I can't remember. One of them. Recess was a great show. Dennis the Menace, used to really enjoy that. But I was a massive fan of the Turtles, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Massive Turtles fan. And I've actually got the Turtles on DVD. It's the only cartoons from the 90s that I own. I've got Thundercats, but they're more 80s. So I've got the Turtles DVDs from the 90s, but I left them downstairs. I would have showed them to you. Sega or Nintendo? Question 2. Tough one. But obviously in the 90s I grew up owning a Mega Drive. I used to have a Game Boy as well, but that was more for like holidays and stuff. Used to play on the plane and laying on the beach and whatever in my room. But at home I was more of a Mega Drive fan. I mean later in the 90s I got an N64 and a PS1. But I see myself as a Sega fan, although the only Sega console I own is the Mega Drive. I'm going to have to change that. I'm going to have to get some other consoles, because the Nintendo, obviously I've got all the handhelds. I've got the NES, the SNES. I've got the GameCube, the Wii, the N64, the Switch. So I've got a lot more Nintendo consoles, but back in the 90s, even now, the full Mega Drive set, I see myself as a Sega fan. Although Sega don't do consoles no more, but you still get great games on other systems. A lot of PS2 games, even some Sega games on Nintendo now. So that's that one. Right, number 3. Favourite console video game. Now is that favourite console or favourite video game? Because obviously my favourite console is the Mega Drive. Back in the 90s, probably still is now. But I grew up playing Sonic 2. Because obviously when I got my Mega Drive, it was around about 92, 93 I think. So it's quite late on in the Mega Drive. So obviously Sonic 2 was out then. I had Sonic 3 as well, and the original Sonic obviously come with my Mega Drive, but Sonic 2 was the main one I used to play. We used to play it 2 players, me and my dad. Used to be great. Another one we used to play. Golden Axe. So I love Streets of Rage now, but back then I never had Streets of Rage. I had Golden Axe. Golden Axe was the one we used to play. Such a great game. And if you've never played it, you need to go and play it. There's some game footage of me playing this on one of my videos from a Gernaldinho Plays Challenge. Go back and check it out. And one I absolutely used to love was Ghostbusters. I used to play this for hours. Just sit in my room and play Ghostbusters for hours. But after the Mega Drive, I went on to the PC. I was more of a PC gamer then. So I used to play The Sims. Sims was like religion. Just to go on there. I remember going over to my mate's house when I was younger, and we played this for one weekend. We played for like 48 hours straight, non-stop. Just playing The Sims. But then I was always into strategy games. So Theme Hospital was always one. And every so often now I put Theme Hospital on, it's great. And as I mentioned this a lot of times, a lot of you will know about this. The greatest manager game ever. Premier Manager 99. Don't have a slipcover for it, case for it. The manual, whatever you want to call it. But it's meant to have Kevin Keegan on the front. Really great game. But as for my favourite game, would be this one on in the background here. So I grew up in the PC era, playing it. Obviously Red Alert. The original Command & Conquer is not very good. I had the original one on PlayStation 1 and N64. But they just weren't as good. You need the multiplayer ones. The skirmish online missions at this 8-player. It's amazing. But as the PC is not classed as a console, I'm going for the PS1 version. This one is Retaliation. Obviously Red Alert on in the background here. But this one had the extra maps on it. So this is the one I used to spend hours. Rob talks about he's played Gears for over 1,000 hours. Red Alert in my lifetime has probably well pushed over that. It's probably on the 5,000 mark. I've probably spent a year of my life playing this game. That's how much I used to play it. On every, not just the one game, but like all the games across every system. But even now I go back and put this on for a couple of hours. So there you go, you've learnt a bit more about me. PC gaming. Favourite comic? I never really collected comics. I used to get the annuals at the end of the year. But comic wise was probably just a Beano, because I used to love Dennis the Menace. So if there was like any Dennis the Menace parts in the Beano, I'd get that. But I wasn't really into comic books. Not really a fan. But if I had to pick one, I'd say Beano. Question number 5. Favourite pro wrestler? Now obviously this is back in the 90's. There were so many great wrestlers back then. You're looking at like the Attitude Era. I mean, if you want to go back further, you got like the NWO started out. ECW used to be brilliant. But WWF as it was back then was unreal. Used to have The Undertaker, who else? Mankind, or Dude Love, or whatever else he was known as. Mick Foley. Every other character he used to play, brilliant. And I'll never forget that steel cage match where he had, well, wasn't even steel cage, with a roof on it, whatever you want to call it. Where he was fighting The Undertaker, and The Undertaker put him through the cage. That was brilliant. But growing up in the Attitude Era, there was only one wrestler. Well, there was two. Two wrestlers you picked. One of them was The Rock. But I don't know, weren't a fan of The Rock. Used to think he was too arrogant. The one I used to love was Stone Cold Steve Austin, the Rattlesnake. Austin 316. Used to come in, crack the beers open, neck the beers. Great wrestler. Remember when he come in with a milk truck once and soaked everyone? So if you grew up in the Attitude Era, it was literally out of them too. But mine was always stone cold. Where he used to walk down the ring, just stunner everyone, didn't care. Just walked around like he owned the place. Great wrestler. But it's never been the same. After the Attitude Era, I went off of WWE when it changed. Went on to TNA. And then stopped watching wrestling probably about 5 years ago and not watched it since. So I don't even know who's still wrestling and who ain't. But that's my wrestling story. But you can't just beat the Attitude Era. The Attitude Era is unreal. Favourite song and music video. There's one song that I put on all the time. And I love it. And a lot of people probably don't know about it. It is the greatest B-side ever. Anyone know who it is? It's Oasis. Aqueous. It's a fantastic song. You could just put it on and listen to it for hours. And it's got a good music video, but that's not the music video I picked. The music video that I've picked that I absolutely love is The Verve. Bittersweet Symphony. Just where he's walking along and just barging people out of the way like he just don't care. He just, that's it, route one. That's the way he's going. If anyone gets in his way, he knocks them out of the way. And it's a great song to go with it as well. So yeah, Bittersweet Symphony. The Verve. And the last question, number 7. Favourite live action TV show and episode? I never really used to watch too many live action shows back in the 90s. But the only one I really used to watch was The X-Files. I used to love The X-Files. Good old Mulder and Scully going around searching for the aliens. It's brilliant. Aliens exist, remember that. I've told you, aliens exist. But, favourite episode? Oh, there's so many. Always remember one episode where they're at like a theme park and they possess some little kid and they make him walk out in front of this train, like this little, they're the ones where the conductor sits on it, all people get on the back. And I always remember that, because obviously I was young back then. But yeah, other than that, can't really remember too many episodes. I just used to love the show. There's all pretty much the same, go around chasing aliens. Find spaceships, investigate paranormal activity. But yeah, I think the show went on for many years and even made films out of it, and you got the games. It's always good when a TV show turns into a game, you know it's made it. But yeah, that's my questions for the 90s. It's a VR to retro reclaimer. And I have to nominate 2 people now. Oh, who to nominate? I think the first person I'm going to nominate is going to be Cole's Room 70. So come on, Cole, get yourself out there. Get a video made. And second person I'm going to nominate is going to be, I'll go for Steve. retroredsteve. Shum Up Saturdays. Great channel. So I'm looking forward to seeing your 2 VR responses, but it's open to anyone. If anyone else out there wants to do it, you're welcome. It's just 90s questions. I'll put the list of questions down in the description, and I'll tag all the people that I'll tag Kieron, who's nominated me, and I'll put Cole and Steve's channel in there, and you can go and check them out. And yeah, that's it. That's my VR response. Hope you've enjoyed it, and can't wait to see what you've all picked. Thanks for watching.
I gave you my heart.